Hello everyone, this is part 20 of What If Naruto Was in Rosario Vampire, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. The headmaster stood amid the charred ruins of the academy. Well, they certainly did a thorough job of it. He let out a depressed sigh. No more ninja. XXXXXXXXXX. Expelled. Mocha said furiously. How could he expel you for defending yourself? I don't blame him, Naruto said as he calmly packed his things. I mean, the academy was burned down by a ninja after all. He probably figures it never would have happened if I weren't here. But you almost SD dealing with antithesis for him. How can he be so ungrateful? As far as antithesis goes, that account has been settled. He touched the rosary he was wearing. I really don't hold his decision against him, and it's all academic anyway. With the academy closing indefinitely, it doesn't matter. Since Akatsuki knows where I am, it's not like I would have come back anyway. Though still looking upset, she reluctantly nodded. So where do you want to go, Naruto-kun? We can go anywhere you want in the human world or to any monster world. He smiled at her playfully. So you don't mind coming with me? Even if it means you won't be returning. Naruto-kun, please don't be an idiot, she said seriously. As your future wife, of course I am coming with you. My place is with you now, always. So tell me, where do you want to go? He grimaced a bit before answering. Konoha, she said in surprise. But what about your plans to become a missing nin and never go there again? He sighed and continued to pack. I thought I would have more time. As it is, I'm not strong enough yet. I mean, the fact Itachi got me as bad as he did is proof of that. My ultimate goal hasn't changed any, believe me, Mocha-chan, he said grimly. But I have to be patient. Patient for how long, Naruto-kun? Until I can access all the power inside me. On that day I'll settle things with my village once and for all. He sighed. But from what Kuyu says, it may still take years. But what about me? She asked fearfully. Where will I be during this time? He looked at her in surprise. You'll be right beside me, of course. You don't think I would be apart from you, do you? And especially not for years. But how will we hide the fact that I am a vampire? We won't be able to, not in a village filled with ninja. So we'll just tell everyone you come from an extinct clan with a very unusual Kekkei Genkai. And besides, he stopped to take a hold of her hand. I'll just tell them that if they want to use me as their tool, they'll just accept you as my wife. Wife, he nodded. I know it's sooner than we planned. I'm sorry I can't give you whatever kind of wedding you wanted. But if we're going to live in that damn village for a while, this would be the best way. If the Hokage really plans on making me a clan head, then as my wife no one would dare touch you. Even if you are a foreigner and strange, your position as the wife of a clan head would shield you. He began rubbing the back of his head nervously. Ah, that is if you're okay with us getting married so quick. In answer, she leaned in and kissed him. We can get married right now if you want, Naruto-kun. Don't worry about the ceremony, so long as I become your wife, that is all that counts. Thanks, Mocha-chan, I am glad you're okay with this. Now there is something else I want to talk to you about. It involves Mizore and Kurumu. There is something I want to do for them, something pretty big. He handed her Yukari's book, already open to the correct page. She took a look. Doppelgangers. That's right, you see. XXXXXXXXXX. Since the academy would be closed for an indefinite period of time while it was rebuilt, all the students were being forced to return to their homes. The next day the buses would take them to locations throughout the human and various monster worlds. So this was the very last day many of them would ever be at the academy. Many people were hurrying to make sure they could say the goodbyes. XXXXXXXXXX. Many of the beds in the infirmary were filled with burn victims. Kenpachi was among the very few there for another reason. He'd suffered multiple wounds and serious blood loss. Despite the near-fatal beating he'd taken, though, he was in light spirits. That was the best fight I'd had in quite a while, he laughed. I'm actually sorry to hear you ked him, Mocha. I would have loved a rematch. Naruto and Mocha had both come to visit him and say the goodbyes. I am really sorry that you were dragged into my problems, Kenpachi-senpai. Naruto gave his senpai a deep bow. He did not simply give people respect, his respect had to be earned. After months of hellish practice sessions and endless bruises to his poor body, Kenpachi had definitely gotten Naruto's respect and friendship. Kenpachi laughed at that. Don't worry about it, like I said, I enjoyed it. It was good getting to know you too. I'm sorry I won't see you again. I feel the same way, even if it was painful. That drew another laugh from Kenpachi. Goodbye, Kenpachi-senpai. XXXXXXXXXX. His farewell with Kuyu was much less heartfelt, though he respected him too, in a way. I'm going to still need your services from time to time. Naruto told him bluntly. When I need you, I'll just summon you. Kuyu frowned. He didn't like the idea of just being summoned away to the human world at Naruto's convenience. However, I am at the service of the Great Lord. Naruto grinned. He was so going to enjoy the day when he could tell the smug Kitsune that Lord Kyubi had gone bye-bye. XXXXXXXXXX. He said goodbye to all his teachers and to a handful of fellow students. That evening he, Mocha, Yukari, Mizore, and Kurumu had a last meal together in the cafeteria. It was quiet and solemn. They all knew this was goodbye and that very likely they would not ever be together again as a group. When Naruto asked them to meet in Mocha's room, they all readily agreed. For once Naruto did not have to teleport or sneak in. The usual rules were being ignored. A good number of boys could be seen going in and out of rooms as various girls were saying their own goodbyes. Once they were in Mocha's room, Naruto turned to the Mizore and Kurumu. I asked both of you just 3 days ago if you would want to be with me even if I was an ordinary human. You both said you would. Do you still feel that way? Of course, Kurumu said. Yes, Mizore answered. Naruto-kun, why are you asking us this? Kurumu inquired. This is the last night before we all go our separate ways. She said sadly. I'm asking because there's a way for both of you to be with me. Mizore and Kurumu both looked surprised but eager to hear more. I thought you weren't willing to share. Mizore said to Mocha. I am not, Mocha said firmly. But I'll let you be with his brothers. You have brothers, Kurumu said in surprise. I thought you were an orphan. Mizore shook her head. I want to be with you, Naruto, not a brother of yours. What if he were my identical twin and had all my memories and feelings? Kurumu frowned. You're planning to make clones for us. I don't mind, but don't they come with a time limit? No, I'm not making clones. Clones can have physical substance and even experience emotions and independent thought, but in the end they only seem alive. Their boss are composed of chakra, they aren't actual living beings. There is, however, a jutsu that can create doppelgangers. These are real live and blood human beings. The jutsu was originally created in order to safeguard the lives of certain vital people. They would create a human copy that was perfect and send him to live in secret while the original continued with his life. If the original person was ked, then at least he would go on living in a different form. That's amazing, Yukari said. So far as I know, there's no magical spell that can do anything like that. Well, there's a price. First off, the copy is completely human, he won't ever be able to use chakra or work a jutsu. Second, in order to create the doppelganger, the caster must give up 5 years of his lifespan. What? Kurumu shouted, horrified. No way. You can't do that, Naruto-kun. Mizore remained calm but shook her head. I appreciate what you are trying to do, Naruto, but you can't give up 10 years of your life. Kurumu glared at Mocha. How can you be okay with this? She demanded. Because Naruto has already decided that he will become a vampire one day. Mocha answered. A vampire's lifespan can last thousands of years, so 10 years is not much of a s. You're going to become a vampire? Kurumu asked. Naruto nodded. That's right, I was thinking about it before. But when Mocha told me the difference in our lifespans, I knew I had to if I was going to marry her. Mocha nodded happily. He is not going to leave me as a widow for a millennium or more. So the bottom line is that I can make each of you an exact copy of me as I am at this moment. All the same memories and all the same feelings. But from the moment I create them, they'll be separate beings living their own lives. When they I won't get their memories. We really will be like brothers more than like clones. You're really willing to make this S for us? Mizore asked quietly. That's right, you are both precious to me. You both put yourselves in danger for my sake, and I want to do right by you. I want you both to be happy. He looked at Kurumu. I don't want you to end up alone. He looked at Mizore. I don't want you to end up trapped in a loveless marriage. What about me? Yukari piped up. I want to be with you too. Naruto shook his head. And how exactly are you going to explain to your folks that you've brought home a 16-year-old child molester to live with you? She frowned unhappily. But I want to be with you and Mocha. It's not fair that I have to lose you both. He smiled sympathetically at the little witch. If you still feel that way in 4 years, come find us and we'll talk. Naruto-kun, Kurumu asked. This copy will have all your memories. That's right. So he'll know about that thing you do with your tongue. Kurumu asked eagerly. Mizore looked interested. You mean kissing? Kurumu wore a huge smile. No, not kissing. Mocha suddenly looked at Naruto with real anger. You showed her, open the flower. Open the flower. Yukari asked keenly. What's that? Naruto was blushing a deep red. Hey, we're getting a little off topic here. Mizore nodded. Will we be able to have children? Yeah, they'll be completely human, so they can father children. Will they have your amazing stamina? Kurumu wanted to know. Naruto shook his head. Sorry, I get that from my demon side, so my doppelgangers won't have it. But they'll be healthy and 16. Kurumu looked somewhat disappointed and Mocha actually flashed her a triumphant grin. But even so she informed him that she wanted what he was offering. If he really will have all your memories and feelings, then he's you, and I'll love him. Mizore nodded as well. If he has your same kind heart, then I want to be with him, power or no power. All right then, if you're both sure, let me go ahead and do it. He began to perform a very long series of hand signs. Doppelganger technique. 2 large puffs of smoke filled the room momentarily. When the smoke cleared, 2 additional Narutos stood there. They were exact copies down to scars on their cheeks and the shade of blue in their eyes. Kurumu immediately embraced the one nearest her. Darling, we are going to be so happy together. Mizore smiled shyly and slipped an arm around his. Both girls were truly happy that they would get to be with Naruto. Yukari pouted and promised herself she would track Naruto and Mocha down as soon as she was 16. XXXXXXXXXXX. The friends said their final farewells and went back to their own rooms. Kurumu was planning to test just how much stamina the human version of Naruto had. Mocha and Naruto were alone together at last. Well, you made them both very happy, Mocha said. I'm glad, Naruto admitted. Even if we never meet again, I want them to both be happy. Mocha nodded. Naruto-kun, I've also come to an important decision. Or I should say me and my other self have. What's that? He asked a little nervously. We have both decided that it's time to destroy the rosary and return to being just one person. We will become the true Mocha again. What? But why now all of a sudden? She smiled at him. When I take the vows to become your wife, I want to be the woman you'll be with for the rest of your life, not just a side of her. He stared at her. She had told him this day would come, but he hadn't expected it to come this soon. What's wrong, Naruto-kun? Why do you look so sad? I'm never going to see you again, he said. You, this Mocha, the girl who ran into me on her bike. The girl who I fought to protect, the girl who always walked with me to class, the first girl I really fell in love with. You're going to disappear. She smiled and nodded. Don't be sad, my love. She leaned in and stood on her toes to kiss him. Like always, her kisses were gentle. Oh, he was going to miss her gentleness. It's true that this body will disappear, as will this personality, but not my love for you. My love for you, my feelings for you, those will live on in my true self. Everything that I feel for you in my heart will remain. She leaned in again and gave him another kiss, this one a little longer and more passionate. Make love to me, she whispered to him. Make love to this me one last time. Picking her up, he carried her to the bed and did just that. He knew that the other Mocha loved him. He had no doubts at all that when their personalities finally merged, that the true Mocha would love him. The truth was, he found the adult Mocha's body sear and more attractive. And he liked her confidence and strength. But, even though there was an intense and fiery passion between them, there was a certain connection missing. That was not to suggest she did not care for him or that her love for him was any less real. It was simply she showed her love in a different way. The adult Mocha never called him Naruto-kun. She called him Naruto or her beloved. It was a small thing, and not really important, but he would miss the way Teen Mocha would call him Naruto-kun and think nothing of it. He would miss her. XXXXXXXXXXX. They waved goodbye to their friends as one by one they left. It was good to see Kurumu and Mizore so happy. If he really never saw them again, his last memory of them would be of their smiles. They watched as all the buses departed. In the end it was just the two of them. The beautiful Teen Mocha smiled at him, her green eyes as beautiful as they'd been on that first day. It's time, Naruto-kun, give me one last kiss. Happy to Mocha-chan. He leaned down and gave her a long sweet kiss, trying to make it last for as long as he could. She was completely content. Take off my rosary, Naruto-kun. Goodbye, Mocha-chan, he whispered as he pulled it off for the final time. She was surrounded by demonic power and transformed into her adult self. Seeing his face, the adult Mocha reached out and gently touched his cheek. Do not be sad, my beloved, you have not lost anyone. We will both still be with you, always. Her words and her touch reminded him that she could be gentle as well, she just showed it differently. She took the rosary from him. Now you will finally meet Mocha. With that she crushed the rosary in her fist. Energy sparked and flowed out of the shattered gem and into her. Her body froze for an instant and he noticed one very slight change. Her hair. It went from being pure silver to having just the slightest reddish tint to it. The energy dissipated and Mocha slowly began to move again. Are you all right, Mocha-chan? She smiled at him. It was a gentle smile. I'm fine, my beloved Naruto-kun. She gave him an eager kiss. Her kiss was filled with confidence and certainty. I am very happy to finally meet you. Are you ready to go? He nodded and put his arms around her. They both had backpacks on with the things they had decided to bring. Yeah, let's go. A black fire surrounded them. Together they left Yukai Academy. The old monk was humming to himself as he swept up the old shrine. It was a tiny out-of-the-way structure that only the locals ever visited. The sort of place where nothing ever happened. Like 1,000 other local shrines that were spread throughout Fire Country. Excuse me. The old monk stopped to see a young man standing at the entrance. The fellow had spiky blonde hair and the strangest set of scars on his face. He knew immediately he wasn't a local. It seemed today he was going to enjoy a visit by one of those rare travelers who occasionally passed through. Yes, how may I help you, young man? His dress was quite odd. He had on a green jacket, white shirt, bright orange tie, and khaki pants. It looked like some type of school uniform, but not one he'd ever seen before. Could you perform a wedding for me? A wedding? The old monk was quite surprised. In the 40-plus years he'd been the caretaker of this shrine, he had never married anyone who had not lived within 20 miles of it. Travelers occasionally stopped to make an offering to appeal to Kami for good fortune. But an actual wedding? Well, certainly I can perform one. Would it be legal throughout Fire Country? The old monk shook his head and laughed. It would be legal everywhere, not much point in marrying someone otherwise, is there? The blonde smirked a bit. I suppose not. Can you marry me and my fiancé right now? He nodded and put the broom aside. This was turning out to be a very interesting day. Certainly. Where is she? Mocha-chan, the stranger called out and motioned. The monk gasped to see the woman who came up beside him. He hardly noticed that she was dressed in a similar uniform or that she had long darkish silver hair. No, what took him by surprise was her red eyes and fangs as well as the sense of power coming off her. Hello, she said pleasantly. Ah, hello, the monk replied a bit nervously. Seeing the reaction, the blonde tried to smile reassuringly. Ah, she'd from a clan with a really unusual Kekkei Genkai, he explained. Right, Mocha said. Because I'm a ninja. I see, the monk said slowly. Please forgive my reaction. I have never seen a ninja before. Mocha grinned at him. No problem, I'm used to it. So how much would it cost? The young man asked. There is no charge, however if you wish to leave a donation afterwards that would be appreciated. The monk went back into his small office to retrieve the necessary docents. As he watched the young couple fill them out, he learned the groom's name was Uzumaki Naruto while the bride's was Akashia Mocha. Are you certain you want to marry right now? You don't have any family with you. Naruto shook his head. I'm an orphan. She has family, but they're a long way from here and she's not that close to any of them. Well, I like my mother and my younger sister, Mocha said. But it would be difficult to reach them. I see, the monk said. Still, marriage is a serious commitment and one that should not be taken lightly. You are both young. Are you certain you want to marry right now? Smiling, Naruto took a hold of his fiancée's hand. We have no doubts at all about wanting to marry, and there's a reason why it needs to be now. Ah, I think I understand. The monk glanced at Mocha's belly. She wasn't showing. Very well then. XXXXXXXXXXX. The ceremony itself was simple and brief. It was completed in less than 15 minutes. The young couple exchanged vows and pledged their commitment to one another. At the completion of it, they sealed their new union with a kiss. Thank you for helping us, Naruto said. The monk nodded. It had been a pleasant and memorable diversion to an otherwise boring day. I was very happy to do so. May Kami bless your union and grant you long life and happiness. And children, Mocha added, causing Naruto to look just a little pale. Mocha winked at him. Eventually. Anyway, here is a token of our appreciation. Naruto pulled out a cloth sack and handed it to the monk. The monk accepted it warily. It seemed rather full. Ah, yes, you are both welcome. He was curious what might be in the sack, but it would be rude to ask or check while they were standing in front of him. Whatever it was a donation after all. He waited for the two of them to leave before carefully opening the sack to see what was inside. XXXXXXXXXX. They had only gone about 20 yards when they heard a piercing scream come from the shrine behind them. Naruto-kun, she asked. What was in that sack? You remember those bandits we dealt with on our little vacation? She nodded. I gave him all the cash I took from them. I never bothered to count it all, but there's probably about 2 million ru or so. Mocha lifted a single eyebrow. You gave him that much just for performing our wedding ceremony. He shrugged. It's only money, and what I really treasure is right here beside me. He gave her hand a gentle squeeze. You're sweet, she said. By the way, you remember when one of my personalities told you that if you ever abandoned me or slept with another woman I would hunt you down and kill you? Yeah, that would be sort of hard to forget. She gave him a kiss and looked at him tenderly. It still applies. Hey, good to know. So, are we off to Konoha now, husband? She took real pleasure in adding that last word. No, wife, he looked at her. Let's go to the nearest town. I need to get some new clothes. And I think we should get a hotel suite. It'll be short, but let's have a honeymoon. She laughed at him fondly. And how are we going to pay for this since you gave away all our money? Not all of it. He held out a gamekin that was near bursting. Together the new couple headed off. XXXXXXXXXX. At that same moment. What do you mean you don't know where he is? Jiraiya screamed. The headmaster nodded toward the blackened ruins of the academy. As you can see for yourself, I was forced to close the school and send the students home. Besides which I have expelled Naruto and instituted a ban on ninja attending this institution in the future. You may inform your Hokage I will have no further dealings with him. I don't think you need to worry about that. Jiraiya shook his head. The moment he'd received word that there had been an attack on Naruto, he'd come as soon as transport could be arranged. He had never thought to arrive and find Naruto just gone. You're sure he was unhurt? The headmaster nodded. He was uninjured, though the same cannot be said of a great many others. When I agreed to your Hokage's request, he never mentioned this possibility. The whole reason he was sent here in the first place was in the hope that our enemies would never be able to find him. Can you at least give me some hint of where he might be now? He was given a bus assignment to return him to the same location where he was originally picked up. The city of Tokyo, I believe. However, he did not leave by bus. I thought it was impossible to get here except on one of those crazy things. I and certain others have the ability to travel across dimensions. He left with one such person. Who? He left with the help of his girlfriend Mocha. Jiraiya recalled the red-eyed beauty from his last visit. He had sensed her power but never suspected she could do such a thing. They had gotten the news that Naruto had reached the four-tailed state only a couple days earlier. Then had come the shocking information that he had been attacked by enemy ninja. And now he was just simply gone. Do you have any idea where he might be now? None, the headmaster said tranquilly. He is no longer my concern. Great, just great, Jiraiya muttered. I need to get back immediately. The headmaster nodded. Certainly, and with your return I will have nothing more to do with you or any other ninja. He watched Jiraiya enter the bus that would return him. He had not told him of Naruto's rosary. Just as he had honored the Hokage's request, he had honored Naruto's as well. He understood what the likely consequences would be, but had decided not to involve himself any further. Whatever happened between Naruto and his fellow ninja would be of their own doing. XXXXXXXXXXX. The following morning a black fire momentarily appeared on the rooftop of an old apartment building. When it blinked out there was a blonde-haired figure in a black ninja outfit and a woman in a bright yellow sundress. Naruto took a long moment to look out upon the village he had not seen in 8 long years. How I long to see this place burn. With a cruel smile he called out, I'm home. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.